love in the building. Yo, shall we take them? I told them up the block. The fall back, dope fiends is dropping, crackheads bugging on Prozac. Whoa, ghetto celeb sharks can threads. Chicks, we don't them unless we take them like 3 in the bed.
Gun in hand, making moves in Japan. Living Northland, half a kilo in the closet, sitting on grams. CU be the brand, crack your shell like clams. If we don't know you, we'll blow you only with fam. Historical name, Theodore, nigga, we be the Roosevelts. Shoot flames.
So it is a nice Sunday late morning. Just left my hostel in Osaka and literally just finished praying at that temple right over there. Fortunately this time last time I went was in Fuchu with a buddy of mine from I know from online, and he explained that even though he's not religious, he does the Buddhist praying because it doesn't hurt. I mean, it doesn't require a lot of commitment. You just show up, you pray, you get yourself a good luck charm, and it doesn't hurt. So I did that. I went ahead and went to this one, and I did the rites wrong. So I was trying to read the procedure on what was there, because they had a sign there that said something about, from what I could make out, it looked like ages, but it didn't cover all ages. So I was trying to figure out exactly what it was saying, especially since there was this girl there that was just circling the place, and it looked like it was some kind of ritual or something. It looked like it was some kind of ritual or something. So I just went ahead and tried to see if I could translate it to see if there was anything I needed to do. Unfortunately, there was like a priest there who explained it as best as he could to me that my age wasn't actually covered, so I didn't have to do anything special. I just could go and do the regular prayer ritual. And then I went and did that, and I messed it up. I messed it up twice, actually. Because the first time I did it, I finished, and then he was like, "You're supposed to take off your hat." And I'm like, "Oh, shoot, I forgot." So I went back and I did it again, and I finished, and he's like, "Oh, by the way, you actually did it incorrectly. You're supposed to," because there's a specific way you're supposed to do it in a certain order, and you're supposed to bow. You're supposed to bow, pray, then clap, and then bow again, and then you're done. And I knew the order, I just got the amount of times mixed up. So he was like, "You're supposed to bow twice first, then pray, then clap, then clap twice, then bow once." So, and then I put the 2 bows at the end and the 1 bow first. So, yeah, I messed that up. But anyway, yeah, so it's the morning. Is that the... Oh, there is the train station. Okay. So the guy at the hostel, it was full of Chinese people. The guy said something like there's a bunch of food places around here. So I'm gonna check out some places to eat, see if there's anything like that around. And then I'm gonna run over to the real Abenabashi, to see what that looks like. Because if you've ever heard of, there's an anime series called Magical Shop Abenabashi Shotengai. No, Abenabashi Maho Shotengai. And or Abenabashi Magical Shopping Arcade, which is about a couple of kids whose grandfather's store in Abenabashi shopping arcade gets shut down, and they end up going through parallel universes for whatever reason. And in the first episode of the series, they established that Abenabashi is actually in Osaka. So I just happened to realize, oh, I don't know where to go in Osaka, so why don't I see where Abenabashi is, or just look around. or let me just look around on the map. And I just happened to see the word Abenobashi, and I was like, I bet it's the real Abenobashi. Let me go check it out. So I figured I'd go check it out. So the YouTube meetup was actually really cool. I got to meet one of my heroes of YouTube. I got to meet the second of my heroes of YouTube, who's actually #1 on the list, because he's a huge inspiration of my channel. Because I already met Akasan last year. Hopefully I'll see him again soon. But I met Unrested. He was really, really cool. Really chill guy. It was him. The only two people I recognized were him and Phoenix 787. I think is his number. He has a number after his name. I'm bad with names when they're partnered with numbers. So I think it's 787. Phoenix 787. He's a J vlogger, and I think he lives in Tokyo or around Tokyo. But he's organizing this year's Tokyo Hanami party. So I'll be around for that. He was really nice too. And yeah, I got to talk to Unrested. I was really happy about that. I talked to him about certain things I was just curious about. And then he brought up some really good news, which is that I may not need a college degree to come move to Japan. I might not even need a student visa. It's a possibility. Like, it's actually possible. So that's actually really cool. I'm very excited to hear that. So I can actually put in some effort into finding jobs and stuff. He said that one guy he knew just bugged one of the English teaching companies to hire him. And that's how it happened. But that guy was already in Japan, so that's we'll have to see how that goes. I might be able to get him to ship me over there, especially if I show how much interest I have in the country. Look at this! Holy crap! Look at these racing cars, dude. Rad, dude. Oh, these are for sale? Pretty awesome. They're Mazdas though. That's mostly Mazda. Oh, I'm sorry for doubting car culture in Japan. The only place I saw any racing cars was up in Guma. I saw 2 of them with big giant spoilers. Not like the regular stock spoilers. I'm talking big giant aftermarket spoilers with like body kits on them. And I'm just like, I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing out in Gunma. So yeah, that was actually pretty rad. I got to hang out with Unrested, and he did say one thing that actually made me a little bit disappointed. So if you guys remember, I was talking about how I was on the fence about coming to the YouTube Hanami party, or I would have gone, but I would have been extremely late because Kawaguchi Haruna, or Haruna Kawaguchi, had a fan event yesterday in Tokyo at the exact same time. So ultimately I decided not to go because I thought it was going to be too big and it would be really impersonal. So I would just be like basically sitting in a stadium, and like I might get to shake her hand for like half a second or something. And then I mentioned that to Unrested because I posted it to him on Twitter. He's like, "Oh, I'm not really that active on Twitter." So I told him that dilemma, and he was like, and the first thing he said was, "Oh, you probably should have gone to that." And I'm like, "Are you freaking kidding me, dude?" I could have met Haruna Kawaguchi. Are you serious? Yeah, he was like, you probably should have gone to that. You know, the Japanese and their customer service are really great with that. And I'm like, you're supposed to be encouraging me to come to this. But it's okay. I'm not mad at it. So she's I just looked at her staff's Twitter because once again she doesn't have social media. It's her staff that does, her agency, and this is the 5th one she's had out of 10 years of being an actress. So there will probably be another one. On average, that means she has one every 2 years. So I've got a couple of years to try and on average to try to go to the next one. So I'll try and go to the next one. Hopefully she's still acting in 2 years, and I'll have to keep an eye on that. Let me think. Anything else? Yeah, had a great time. Osaka's definitely, it's hard to describe if you've never been to Japan, but Osaka's definitely different from Tokyo. I don't know if this is just because it's the suburbs or what. This might be the suburbs. But even the suburbs feel different in Osaka than in Tokyo. And it's, like I said, if you've never been to Japan, it's hard to describe. It just looks different. Things, hey kitty, Neko-chan. Oh, just across the street. Yeah, if you've never been to Japan, it's hard to describe. It's just different. Well, for one thing, there's no sidewalks. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but there's like 0 sidewalks. In Tokyo, like there's like somewhere for the public to walk. And then here comes a block where it completely disproves that example. You can see that right there. There's a sidewalk right there. But most of these streets, they don't have any sidewalks. And they actually look like streets. Kind of. They look like alleyways mixed with streets. Like the ones in Tokyo look just straight up like alleys. Where you're just like, oh, here's a little alley for me to walk down, and then like 2 seconds later, here comes a car speeding down the road, speeding down there. You're just like, why are you going so fast? This is an alley, but no, it's not an alley, it's a street. So these actually kind of look like streets, so I'll give them that. There's a Domino's guy. I just saw a Domino's guy. So yeah, this video is going on a little bit long. I'm just kind of browsing around this burg, and it's almost time to head out to Aberobashi. Oh yeah, another interesting. No, I'll talk about that later. But yeah, so yeah. Until, oh my God, I'm so low on space. So until next time, guys. Be excellent to one another and party on, dudes. And futsal is kind of like a pickup. It's kind of like street. It's like street soccer. It's like street basketball, but with soccer. Is essentially the idea.
フットサルをサッカーだと思うからおかしくなっちゃうんだ。サッカーっていうよりバスケに似てるよね。バスケのアスケリバー。
So there's not really any out of bounds, and usually you have a